Welcome everyone. This is Jeroen and Lior, who you both know from the program in Munich and the program before that. And today we're going to talk about practicalities of designing, building, planning MVPs. Lior has experience with doing just that, and we are going to leverage his examples that we will show to you. And I think the best way to start out is to make it visual. So what have you prepared to show to us, Lior?
Yeah, so as all of you know, we are a company dealing with urban issues. And a lot of our projects are kind of like just regular clients, one client projects. You have a municipality that wants to fix something, and we're doing a project, we're writing a report, we are making an offer for this project, etc. But sometimes we are coming up with our own ideas, either for a project or for a service or product, and then we tackle it almost like a new startup because it is a new product that we need to analyze the market, etc. And of course, then pitch it to clients. So I want to share with you one project, and this is a project where we try to take out a regular workshop. So we are doing workshops with stakeholders, with residents, with people working in the municipality. This workshop is called Good Public Space. It's a regular workshop where we just meet together and analyze the public space and try to think how to make it better. But we want to make it an app, so we can sell it to more places, do it also online, and be able to basically have a bigger market with this product.
Okay.
So I will share my screen and I will show you how it looks and how it starts from during our workshop. If you see the PDF, we are giving the participants a PDF as a brochure, we print it with the instructions what they need to do in the workshop. So this has nothing to do with the MVP yet. It's just to show you how the workshop is working.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's designed and it's nice. And this is how it works in the workshop. We have those PDFs on or all those brochures on the table.
The QR code leads to the PDF, or
yeah, it leads to the app that I will show you soon. But
okay.
It's basically there on the table, and people take those brochures, those papers to the field, and they fill up information in them, as you can see here in the picture. And we take all those papers, we run to an Excel file, and we give a grade to the public space. So we are doing everything that an app would have done, but we are doing it with hand.
Okay,
Because we didn't develop an app.
Yeah, so the booklet is like a prototype of your app, basically. Yeah. And how do people respond to a booklet instead of an app? Because if you have an app in mind and you show a booklet, that's not the same thing.
Exactly. So we just knew that we will not be able to build an app. And we decided that we want to first try the content to see whether our ideas about public space design and analysis work. So it's more about the content. And we wanted just to see if people can understand the content. And once this was proven in several workshops, we were able to move on to make an MVP for the app, which I can show you.
Yeah. So before we go into the app, like what was the moment in the workshops that you knew, okay, now it's good enough to start thinking about an application?
The thing about this workshop is that it has the analysis part, and then it has a second part. And the second part is another app that we work with. It's a partner called Urbanist AI. And in this app that already exists, it's already a product, people take the public space and redesign it using AI.
Okay.
So they are creating basically with AI images of the public space. So we had a sort of this workshop that is half on paper and half with existing product. And we knew that if we want to continue it as a streamlined process, it will need to become somehow one and not just QR code, paper, printout. that
Yeah.
that's not a nice process.
Okay. And how did you evaluate whether this combination of the booklets plus the partnered software is already like somewhat effective at solving the problem at hand?
We believe, I mean, we are currently we did several workshops already, so 3 workshops as a test, and we are getting feedback from participants. So at the end of the workshop, we are doing them still at low cost, so we are not paying, we are not getting full market price, or we're actually not even covering our cost with those workshops. And the reason we do it is because we want to get feedback from the people. So we give them survey at the end, and in those surveys we ask whether they found the approach nice, and if the content makes sense. But we don't really we don't put too much, I would say, pressure on whether the app itself works, because we know that like having it on a paper is a very different experience.
But I can imagine that the feedback was uh, mostly positive then.
Yeah, because I mean, this is a rather, I mean, it is the participants that we ask and not the paying client
Yeah.
that we ask. And
Okay.
that's a different, you know,
Okay.
that's a different, so it's
Okay.
participants that want to
But that's
redesign the
okay.
public
But
space.
that's okay, right? So you have users and buyers, and you currently learn that the users, at least they like the workshop, and then you concluded after 3 workshops. I think now we're ready. Now we know enough to start prototyping, MVPing an application.
Exactly. So now we are, we realize, at least with the content, we feel comfortable, we can run workshop. And just to stop here, this could already be fine enough. We could already just maybe decide, hey, we're just going to give nice workshops.
Yeah, and
And
sell those workshops, right?
yeah, just do workshops and maybe even keep them on paper. Right? It's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't always need to become. Maybe we can just make it a bit nicer or a bit more interactive.
Yeah.
But we did update also the paper during the workshops. So what is nice, if you get feedback, you just redesign the PDF. You don't need to build a new app.
Yeah, so the PDF actually was already kind of a mock-up for the application.
Exactly.
And what was the core, the main reason to say, okay, but we're going to do an app anyway? Like, why didn't you stick with like these 2 booklets and partner software?
Um, I think that having a sort of streamlined process, so people don't need to like take a paper, then take this, then take that. It's a feeling. It's not a comment that we got from people. It's not that they told us, oh, it's terrible. It's a sort of a feeling. And also that building this specific app, it's mostly, if you look at the booklet, the booklet is a sort of a questionnaire. You need to give grades. An app that is a questionnaire is not a huge investment. It is
No, it's a relatively simple application.
yeah, I mean, you can start even with a Google survey, you know,
Yeah.
It's an app, and the difficult part, the AI part, already exists with the app, with our partners, Urbanist AI.
Okay. So can you show us something like of the MVPing process, or do you have some mockups?
Yeah, so if you look at the picture, just remember those little cute characters, because you will now see them in the in the mockup part.
Okay.
1 second. I have here the Figma file, and as you can see, it's designed like a phone, and it's already much more sleek and shows really the process of logging in, putting your name, choosing your language. We hope to do it in several languages, like Dutch, of course, because we are in the Netherlands, or English, and then like putting the name of the place, and then choosing your character. So here, instead of choosing the paper that you're going to take, you're going to choose a character. And then actually it's quite a simple app. You are giving the grades, it calculates it in the background, and then you're getting the grade of how the public space is designed. there are two steps. One is that you're answering it according to your character, and then one that is more about the general perception.
Mhm.
Um,
So
and
it's
that's
basically a very interactive form.
yeah, it is.
Uh,
And of course, it's not as easy as it sounds. So that's why you really need to start with
mhm,
probably a mock-up before you build it directly. But yes.
mhm. So what was hard about designing this part?
So okay, we are a urbanism company. I'm
Hmm.
an urban planner. Um, Designing a PDF is something that I'm used to do because we are making many presentations, uh, and reports. We can design a PDF.
Hmm.
But when you're designing an app, there is a lot of knowledge that you need to have about UX, about how people interact with a phone, which is
Hmm.
not knowledge that we specifically have. And actually, I believe that most of the PhDers here don't have because
Hmm.
it is a real profession and knowledge to know.
Hmm.
Luckily, we do have one designer in the team that
Hmm.
has this knowledge, but it is not that we are an app uh, building team or
Not yet, not yet.
not yet, not yet.
So, okay, so given that people play around in Figma and they turn their sketches into something clickable, you have a mock-up,
Yeah.
um, and then you can move forward at some point to create an actual app. Are you in the process right now, or are you still in the design phase?
Yeah, so we are now doing two things. The first one, we're still in the process of the design that you see now,
Hmm.
uh, and we are about to start the building of the app.
Okay.
But before it, we now, because we have a very interactive Figma
Yeah.
app, we have the PDF and we
Hmm.
have proof of concept. We want to first see, is it something that people will buy? Because entering the phase of building a real app will take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So I think that the best thing now is to try to see if we are able to sell this workshop for more of a market price and
Okay.
to really show the client, hey, if you will have the app to sense if they would have paid more.
Hmm.
But we are almost ready. We have the content, we have the
Yeah.
design. We are kind of
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
first sale, then build, I
Yeah,
would say.
but you have something to show in a mock-up now in your sales conversations, like, hey, this is the app that we're gonna build.
Yeah.
Did you already have some of these conversations,
Yeah.
and how do they respond to the mock-up so far?
So we still haven't been to a discussion where we a face-to-face discussion where we took out the phone. I'm showing you something completely fresh from 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago. We could not show the phone and like go that it feels like an app,
Yeah.
but we showed it on like the print screens of those
Hmm.
mock-ups. People like it. It looks good. It looks
Yeah.
sleek.
Yes.
But we still didn't do yet now the real analysis whether this specific app is going
Hmm.
to make the change and actually sell it
Yeah.
for more.
No,
And
sure. That's the ultimate proof, but so far the first responses are positive.
yeah, nobody said, "I know we don't need an app."
Okay, cool. So even just screenshots, bringing that to conversations with potential clients is already a way to get some sense of what their attitudes are.
Absolutely. And if the screenshots also look sleek, so that's really
Yeah.
important. It has to look really cool because people just like cool design,
Hmm.
in my
And
opinion.
yeah, and how do you know that they're not just being nice?
I don't know.
Okay.
So it will be only, I'd say, that's not the first thing I try to sell in my
Uh-huh.
life. People are sometimes just nice to you, and that's fine. It's good
Hmm.
that people are nice, but until you sell it, doesn't mean anything.
No. So it's the best you can have in terms of feedback, but it's not enough to prove that you have a business.
I do think there is a better way to ask for feedback, and is to ask it not from only people you try to sell to, although I
Hmm.
know that this is a very important thing, but also just to try to show it to partners that you trust,
Yeah.
like to other companies or or friends or colleagues that you trust to give you the real feedback because you're not trying to sell to them and they're not just trying to be nice to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And there you can get maybe real critique.
Okay, so to summarize, you started out with a paper prototype, you ran a workshop, and you did it very cheaply because you wanted to learn, got feedback, you refined your paper prototype, and at some point you said, now we know enough, like what should be in the initial application. Did you already leave things out for that initial application, or like, okay, these are things that we're going to do later, and these are the things we're going to include in the first version?
Yeah, so the first version, we basically just want to have, I would say, digitalized version of a workshop. But of course, in the future, it can become nicer, it can become
Yeah.
more interactive, it can become things that really cannot happen in a regular workshop.
Mhm.
The app might allow,
Yeah.
but it's not something that we have on a roadmap. But it was really by designing it, all the decisions that were made was to keep it as simple as possible, to just
Mhm.
replace the paper.
Okay.
So you have a nice workshop. So we can
Yeah.
we can go
Yeah.
to run workshops in the Netherlands
Mm.
in a nice way.
Yeah. So no AI, no fancy stuff yet.
No, no, no.
Okay. So in preparation of this short talk, we also talked about an MVP that you made that failed. Could you like
Yeah,
spill some beans there?
yeah. So actually, this is incredible because this I'm going to show you an MVP for a product I had in mind, and the MVP is perfect. It's doing an amazing job, but it failed. And I will tell you first, I will show you the product and then I will tell you how it failed. So the idea was that planners around the world will be able to fill in their street
Hmm.
um, size, and then it will just look at all the great streets that are existing in the Netherlands and will find them the best design from the
Okay.
Dutch, because the Dutch are known for having a very good design.
Okay.
So I met two colleagues, two friends. We thought about it, and then within 1 week, we just build a tool. So
Hmm.
you put the width of your streets. You say, yeah, I want a bike lane. I want it to be a commercial street. You press go. It searches all over the Netherlands for streets of the same characteristics, and it just gives you,
Oh, it links to Street View. Okay. That's
yeah.
very nice.
And we build it. We put it online.
Hmm.
It got several thousand users in the first few weeks.
Hmm.
A lot of nice comments on social media,
Yeah.
but we didn't have any business model in mind. It was a free product that
Yeah.
worked very nice. We proved the concept. It was really, it didn't take, I mean, it is a project because it took a few days. Several people
Hmm.
worked on it, 3 people,
Yeah.
but we didn't have any uh, market in mind who will
Yeah.
pay
Who
for
were
it.
you going? You didn't know who you're going to sell to.
No,
Oh, so you made no sales.
we made no sales. We
Yeah.
made sales for zero euros. And at one point, we realized that it also cost us quite a lot of money to keep the servers running, so we had to
Hmm.
turn it off. But
Okay.
I I wanted to show it because uh, we had an idea and we thought we have to just show that it's possible. So we made the really minimum viable product that we could make.
Mm.
The problem is that we didn't do all the work before. We went directly to the app.
Yeah. And it
Which
looks
I can
nice.
laugh
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
because it's only a few days and it still ended up with a nice project and I learned a lot. But that's
Hmm.
not a serious way of going and building a business.
It's not building a business, it's just building a solution. And that
Yeah,
solution building can be a lot of fun, but having a solution doesn't guarantee you any sales, as your project shows. Oh,
absolutely.
okay, cool. So to summarize, Lior, in one way, he went bottom up, first trying to create value in workshops and then creating a solution around that. So prototyping manually with PDFs, booklets. And the other way, he started from the solution first, and then it kind of became a solution looking for a problem or for a market. And yeah, the connection was not made there. So yeah, Lior, I want to thank you for sharing your experiences here. I hope this helps to inspire some small steps that you can take. I will include the MVP tools in in the email, so you can take a look at that. And happy prototyping, I would say. Goodbye, everyone.